Alright guys, today I wanted to do a video here, comparison between the M17, this is the CQC model, and the Tiberius Arms T15. As we know, these are two of the most anticipated markers of this year, and the M17 dropped earlier this year. The T15 about a couple weeks ago. People are still trying to get their hands on both of them. M17 is still on back order a lot. I know T15 is making out the dealers as we speak here. So first thing I want to do is just kind of go over what's in the box of each. Then we'll kind of put them side by side, do some comparisons. As far as comparisons go, I'm going to give you my 2 cents. So if you don't like it, sorry, this is just what my thoughts are. But this is going to be as unbiased as I can get. So first thing we'll do, we'll take the T15, we'll set this to the side. And we'll do with the M17. So this is the box that the M17 CQC comes in. Now CQC is the plastic polymer model with steel plates inside. So it's a little cheaper. As of right now, as of today, it is sitting at $330 from Milsig direct. Okay. So you get a cardboard box, open it up. Okay, we got our CQC marker, we get our tank stock. There's a guy reel I have sitting somewhere else. Our flip up sights, the adapter if you're on the hopper. You get a bag, you get some extra O-rings, you get some Allen keys, you get your hopper adapter, oil. There's a manual I don't have here with it right now, and your barrel plug. And one 18 round first strike magazine. Okay, so that's what you get out of the box from the Milsig. Okay, a couple of things that I like about the Milsig: they give you some extra O-rings, they give you the Allen keys, you got marker oil, which is nice to have. Other than that, it's just like your standard standard marker. So take and throw some of this stuff back in the box here. Okay. Put that box to the side. I'm going to take the M17 set off the side here. So now we'll pull out the T15. T15, this is the case it comes in. So it comes in a nice, it's not a full hard case, it's got some give to it, but it's a really nice case. Inside it's foam cutouts for everything. So obviously you get the the T15. Mine's got some mag pull accessories on it right now. You get a Gorilla Air 13 cubic inch 3000 psi tank. Cool thing with this tank, it's got their new, I think it's P3 regulator. It's really tiny compared to a Ninja or any other kind of regulator. The burst discs are pretty much flush with it, and on the top here it's brass and it's actually adjustable, so you can index this to fit your marker the way you want. You get your tank stock, you get 2 magazines with it, you get a carry strap for the actual case, you get your backup sights, which I never use, and get your barrel bag, and lastly you get an on-off ASA if you want to use it. Okay, so there's your your T15 in a nutshell. Things I like about this: I love that they give you 2 mags. It's real nice to have. I like the fact that you get a tank with it. Things I don't like: no Allen keys came with it, which to me it's not a big deal because I have a ton of Allen keys laying around. But for a new player who's just starting out, they don't have anything to adjust even the velocity, which is going to be kind of tough for some people. Secondly, it doesn't come with any spare O-rings, which is or is not a huge deal depending on how you look at it. It'd be nice to have, but it is what it is. And lastly, mine, one of the first batches, didn't come with a manual with it. Granted, the manual's online. You go to Tiberius website and get it off there, but I think that's kind of just lack of thought on their behalf that they don't even have a manual with the marker, you know. So there we go there. We'll take and set this case aside, and we'll bring both markers in here. Okay. So T15 right now is $4.99. CQC is $3.30. Okay. A couple things I added to my CQC to make it different than stock is I have a Milsig RIS rail, which I only have the bottom rail on because I just use the full grip. I took the other rails off because I really don't like rails. I don't tend to cool out my marker or anything. And a Milsig marksman barrel, which is a 12-inch barrel. I have the full set with the back half. It's a rifle barrel, which is nice. So real quick here, let's just take and I'm going to convert this CQC to make it comparable to what we got here with the T15. So the rail, I don't recall which rail this is. It was from Milsig. Just going on their website though, there is a comparable rail which is about $65, and then you know, the marksman barrel kit's about $100. So there you're sitting about $4.95 for the CQC in a decent ready to go mode. The only thing you're missing though is you're missing an air tank, which some guys have already, some don't. So that'll kind of set you back another $50 or so, depending if you have it or not, if you buy a new one or if you buy a used one, stuff like that. Okay, so put the marksman barrel in here. Now we set these two up. Kind of get the ASAs lined up, and they're pretty much about the same length here overall. Okay. Some things we got here, the Tiberius is aluminum construction. The CQC here, like I said, is in fact all polymer construction. It has steel plates inside. Now some guys have had issues. I have never had an issue with this marker. But some guys have had issues with the plastic foregrip here, where it attaches to the marker, kind of cracking and breaking. Some people have had the top rail here crack, especially when using the hopper adapter. And then there's guys that have had the grip issues, which at first was over tightening by a machine at the factory, and since then we've seen other guys, you know, take a real hard tumble or something and snap that off. Now, you want to step up to the XDC, which is $650 or something like that. That comes with the aluminum body, but the pistol or the grip area and the trigger frame is all plastic polymer, just like it is on the CQC. So even the XDC and the DMR, both those also have the plastic trigger. So that's kind of the one weak spot, I'd say, for this marker. Okay. They both have the AR M4 style to them. Obviously, the T15 was modeled to be a one-to-one replica. So it feels real nice and it's real compact. If you look at the actual, you know, the actual marker part of it here, it's a lot more compact. The mag well is smaller. You can bolt up pretty much any AR accessory you want to the T15 here. Where the Milsig, you're kind of stuck. You can put a different foregrip on, or a rear grip, sorry. But that's about the extent of AR compatible accessory. You put the angle foregrip on there. But you can't go putting on delta ring shrouds or handguards. You can't go putting on free-floating handguards. You know, they sell the extended mag releases that just drop right in on this. Trigger guard, all that stuff. There's some guys that are working on modifying AR charging handles to fit these. So, you know, it depends on the factory you're going for. The T15 definitely gets a tactical factor up a notch. The only issue that I see, or I run into now with the tactical-ishness of the T15 is cleaning. You know, we're playing paintball, so there's paint all over the place. It gets real hard to clean with all the extra crap on the T15 as compared to the CQC. M17, it's real easy to kind of wipe down. I can wipe this down and be pretty clean. Where at the T15, it seems to kind of, with the anodizing on there, that dust anodizing kind of sucks the paint in a little bit. It's a little bit hard to clean. Plus all these nooks and crannies. You get under the dust cover here, you're trying to clean in and out. I can still see there's paint stuck in between there. Then I just got to basically tear the whole marker apart to clean it out. Where the M17 was a little bit easier to clean out. You know, when I cleaned the M17, I'd pull the heat core out, pull the trigger assembly off, magwell, just run water right through it. That'd be done. This one, the T15, is a little more involved, taking it apart. So, like I said, overall they both feel good. The CQC is definitely, even with this setup here, it's lighter than the T15. You can feel the heft in the T15. T15 has a charging handle. Okay. M17 has a bolt return handle. It is not a charging handle. If you mess around with the charging handle, you can break that too, which is another issue that Milsigs have had. You know, part of it is most people don't read the manual that it comes with, which is, can't say that for the Tiberius one. But if you're supposed to pull this back and let it go, and the only time you should mess with the bolt return handle is if the bolt gets stuck forward. If there's paint that gets in there, or first strike round gets clipped. Also, there's a pin on the bolt return, or on the bolt that the bolt return handle pulls back on. There has been issues, and I had it with this marker, where you, when using a sling, sometimes it would catch, and the bolt return handle would be sticking back a little bit. It's not locked in place all the way. You go to fire, you would lock it back in place, but what happens is the bolt return handle and the bolt pin are hitting against each other, and eventually the bolt pin starts to bend a little bit and causes some funky issues. So as we're talking about kind of defects or things that have happened, T15 is not without its problems. The sleeve that holds the bolt in place, there was a bolt in there that was not the correct hardness from the manufacturer, and it caused the sleeve to move forward and it would dump your air right out the barrel. There's a known trigger issue where the trigger sticks, so you go to fire it, it fires, the bolt returns, but then it feels like it's in safe mode. You can either flip it from fire to safe to fire, and it'll fire once, you keep doing that, or you push the trigger forward, pull it back, push it forward, pull it back to fire. I have a video on how to kind of resolve that issue itself. And also the T15 has some mag issues. When we get to the magazines here, we'll talk about that though. Okay. So let's go into taking these things apart here. So, you know, basic marker breakdown here. The M17 here has two pins with two of the I'm not thinking correctly. They're not cotter pins, but they're let's call them clip pins for now. Sorry guys. So you pull out the two pins and two retainers, two washers, and we got two pins. And the back half, the heat core comes out. Pull the bolt return handle forward and pull the bolt, turn it sideways to clear the bolt return handle, and we have our engine out of the marker. T15. If you haven't seen already, it breaks down like a typical AR. You have two body pins here, so if I just push this rear pin in, the marker opens up. Like a 1/16 of a turn on the back cap, and the cap and spring come out. Pull the charging handle, and my bolt comes out. Okay. So as far as how both these work, the T15 down here is a blowback marker, and the heat core on the M17 is a blow forward. So basically what's happening is on the M17, the sears holding the bolt in place. There's air pressure actually pushing back this way, and the spring's pushing the bolt back to return. When you let go of the sear, the air pressure overrides, causes the marker or causes the bolt to move forward, pushes the paintball, and then the air is released out. and then the spring puts it all back together. The blow back, so this is blow forward, there's blowing forward. On the blow back system here, you cock the marker, which pulls it back against the spring here. When you pull the trigger, the sear will come down and the spring is going to push the bolt forward. Once the bolt hits the gas block on here, releases air to come out, and then the air also is going to push the bolt back to recock it. So therefore it's a blow back and a blow forward system. Both of them have their merits. You know, you'll hear people say one's more efficient than the other. Both these markers are pretty darn efficient. The testing I've done so far after breaking in, I think the T15 might have a slight edge in efficiency. I still got to run some more paint through the T15, but just in my testing here, it seems I've gotten a little bit more magazines off the T15 than I did the M17. So putting it back together. Okay, so there's the T15. M17. Put the bolt back in. You got to pull the bolt return handle out. Okay. We're going to put back at the heat core on and pull the trigger. Allow it to go in. Put our two pins in, the washers and the retainers, and we're all set. So both of them easy to clean. In the field, I really hate these pins. As you saw earlier, I can't get them with my fingers, so I have to use an Allen key, and sometimes they go flying all over the place, which if you're playing or working on your marker in the field, or even back at you know, a scenario game at your tent or something like that, and this thing falls in the grass, you know, good luck trying to find those. Where the T15, I can break it down. I mean, right now it's still breaking in the pin, but you know, just the Allen key, a stick, something just kind of help push that pin out, and the whole thing breaks apart. So cleaning wise on the field, you know, they both have their merits clean on the field. One thing I do like about the T15 here is that your breech is a part of the barrel. So your ball goes in here, your first strike round, and it fires out of here. Where with, you know, Milsig or most other markers, the barrel goes here and the breech is actually inside the marker. So I've had a couple breaks in this thing. If I pop the barrel real quick, run my Exalt barrel made through it, it's got the squeegee on the one side and then the brush on the other end. Pop that through, clean it out, put the barrel back in. It cleans it out a lot easier. Nice thing with the M17, you know, as Doug is shown and stuff, what I would do is, if when I had a break, I always have a hydration pack with me usually. I'll take and pull off the nipple on the end, and I'll just pour some water down into the mag well, hold the marker with the barrel down. You know, fire a couple times, run the barrel made through it, and that would usually get me going. As far as quickness on the field goes, I think the T15 in the field gets a little more the advantage there than the M17 does. Okay. Off the top of my head, that's really all I can think about between the two. You know, obviously the M17's got full auto, which is nice. I had a lot of fun with it, but it necessitated me running a remote line on here, which I'm not too fond of. I really like running the 13 cubic inch tank on here in tank stock because it gives more realism to it. Also, we're playing mag fed. You know, I don't think I should carry around a giant tank. That's just me personally, though. M7 or the T15 does not have full auto. It does have the markings on there, and there's been rumors that they might have a you know, a drop-in trigger assembly for it. You know, we'll see if that happens in the future. To me, it's not a big issue. I really didn't use it all that much. It was fun to play with, though. T15 has the typical AR style mag release. The CQC M17 has the AK style thumb release, ambidextrous. You can also upgrade to the metal mag well. I had a metal mag well from another marker, Milsig marker. I put it on here. Actually, I preferred the AK style of this marker just because of how it was getting to the actual mag release. That's just me though. Okay, so let's take and we'll put the markers aside here and we'll talk about the magazines. So here's our first strike magazine with the Milsig and our T15 magazine, which does first strikes and paintballs, same as Milsig one. You'll notice size-wise, height, they're pretty similar. The only thing is the Tiberius mags don't have the collar on them, which I'm rather fond of not having this collar. I still had some issues once in a while with balls popping out past the D10s on the square heads. And on the regular 20-round paintball mags, these are ones I converted over for my MK3. But the collar that goes around the bottom here that holds the mag gun in place, I pretty much broke most of them by now, which kind of sucks. Had to kind of mess them a little bit to get them to stay on there. Okay, so 18 rounds will be held in this one, first strike or paintballs. This will carry 19 paintballs and 19 first strike rounds, and then these Milsig mags will carry 20 paintballs only. There have been people who have issues with loading regular paintballs into the first strike mag. I never had good luck putting paintballs in this mag. They would always break either in the mag or right in the breech. So, you know, yeah, they're iffy. The T15 mag have not had any issues with breaking paint in the mag, either first strike or regular paint. So that's one of the nice things about this. So breaking these things down. Okay. Take it apart because obviously sometimes things happen. We gotta clean our mags out. The Milsigs obviously come apart. They have your screws, your Phillips screws. So 2 screws and mag comes apart. Okay. On the T15, they use a 3/32 Allen key to pull the bolts out that hold the mag together. Now, one thing you want to know on Milsig mags, you take them apart with them, you know, unwound. On the T15 mags, you want to wind them before you take it apart. I'll show you why. It makes them easier to go back together. Okay, so now we have it wound up. Pull the bottom bolt out here. Okay, we'll take and there's our T15 mag. Now T15 has this little clear sleeve here that the spring and the follower kind of roll up into, which keeps it all kind of in place and it makes it a little bit easier putting the mags back together. Inside, they both have a little flip inside of them. So if I put some paint in here, okay, so they flip and they go around. Same thing. With the M17 mags, they flip and go down around the bend. This one's probably better to show you on the T15 mag, so you can see them both similarly. Here, we'll put both of them. See, they go. They both have flip and around the bend and up. So they both function similarly. As far as the 2 mags go, the The Tiberius ones are nice because they have brass inserts where the screws go. I find that the Milsig mags, they have issues where if you don't keep putting the screw in the right way, you kind of just jam it in there. The plastic on here is kind of brittle and it'll start to crack away at the post here and cause the mag to not go back together. Either you got to tape it or buy a new mag housing for it. So that's, you know, with that. Also, T15 mag, everything's self-contained here. Your winder, your follow, everything kind of stays in the mag. So when you take it apart, that's it. You just got 2 screws to lose. Whereas with the the Milsig mags, you know, if you've ever used one of these before, you know you got your pins, you got your part that keeps the winder from going up around the gears, and you have your winder itself, and it all kind of comes out. You know, so when you want to put this thing back together, we're going to put our pins in. Okay. Also, while I'm looking at here, the followers themselves, I kind of prefer the Milsig followers because they have the first strike shape to them. I think that kind of helps them push the first strikes through the mag, where the T15 just has a regular round follower. You know, so if we're putting their Milsig mag back together, we're going to make sure that the spring's down below catch there. Okay. Put together. We separate the mag a little bit. We put our collar back on. Screws go back in. Okay. T15 mag putting together. Basically push down on my follower spring. Pop together, put my 2 Allen bolts back in here and tighten it down. As far as assembly and disassembly, the T15 mags I think win at this. They're just less crap to come all apart on them. Also, when you release your followers, regardless of the mag, I always put my finger in there. Don't let the thing come crashing out. It could cause issues or whatever. Okay, the only problem I talked about earlier with Milsig or the T15 mags are, you know, here's a toothpick right here. I can kind of jam the toothpick in there. They have a gap on these mags that, you know, on the top 2. You know, when I talked with Tiberius about it, they said there's never an issue, but then there might be, so maybe basically what I did is I went through and sanded down the post here a little bit, and they kind of fit a little bit better. Eventually I'll send them back to them to figure it out. But also, let's see here. Nice little thing with the T15 mags is if you take a 1/8 Allen key, it fits right inside the winder there, and you can wind it that way as opposed to, you know, doing this kind of by hand, or you know, you got the winder tool from Milsig, or I've made just a 1/2-inch wood dowel with a slot cut out that fits these. So that's a nice little feature that I just kind of noticed while goofing around with these mags, that you can put an Allen key in there and wind them up a little bit better. So, you know, mag wise, durability wise, I'm really liking the T15 mags. They have a little bit of give in the plastic, which I think is nice, but not too much give. The Milsigs are very rigid. The Milsig mags, when I played these, I was always afraid to drop these things because I feel that they're prone to cracking, and this one actually has a little bit of cracking from falling. Where I play, it's a mixture of grass, asphalt, concrete, gravel, wood bridges, you know, anything anything you imagine, pretty much we play on it. So doing a tactical reload or something, you know, I would never throw my Milsig mag down, where the T15s I've thrown around a few times now and haven't had any issues yet. Just, you know, they seem to be a little more durable than the Milsig mags, in my opinion. Also, if you take a look here, you know, size-wise, the M17 mags are a little bit wider than the T15 mags in both respects here. Height, like I said, they're pretty much about the same. These do take up a lot less space once you get going. These fit in regular AR or M4 pouches, where the Milsigs really don't. You kind of got to have your own retention system. I use fast mags with my Milsig ones, and with my Condor chest rig, I could fit five across my whole chest mags, and then I had to double stack one to get 6 mags, so I had a total of 7 mags. With the T15, I have a double stack M4 style Condor mag holder, so I can fit 6 mags on there, one in the marker for 7, and it actually has a spot for an extra mag on the actual chest rig, so I put that in there, so a total 8 mags, and it takes up a lot less space and a lot more maneuverable, I feel. The only problem is I gotta run a dump pouch with the T15. With the Milsig mags, with the fast mags, I wouldn't even run a dump pouch. I would pull the mag, swap it, and put that one back into the fast mag. So, you know, kind of two different issues there, depending on how you want to look at it. So, like I said, overall, both markers I feel are nice. You know, they both serve their purpose playing mag fed. As far as reliability standpoint, they're both pretty reliable. Tiberius is still working out the issues with theirs, which is kind of expected for the first batch of it, I guess. To me, it seems to be a mag fed guy. You kind of have to know a little bit about how to fix stuff and work with your markers. It doesn't seem like any of them are perfect out of the box. You know, value-wise, you know, the CQC comes off to be, you know, the cheapest one. When you start looking at it, you start adding some stuff to it, and kind of add up. As far as mags go, the T15 mags are $40 for 2, and the Milsig mags are $30 for 1, or $100 for 4. So if you buy the 4-pack, it works to about, you know, $25 mag, where the T15 mag is $20 mag. So it's a $5 difference. You know, kind of, it'll add up eventually. So, playing wise, I mean, as far as playing with the T15, I think it shoots better than the M17 does, in my opinion. It seems as the shots seem to fly a lot straighter and a longer distance at the same velocities, in my opinion. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it. If you have questions, you know, feel free to shoot me a message, and I'll do my best to kind of answer them as best I can. You know, I'm not going to say which one's the best, which one's the worst. It's kind of up to the player themselves what they want. You know, if you want a true tactical Milsim experience, obviously the T15 is what you want. If you don't care about how tactical it looks, and, you know, it doesn't look like a real AR and break down like a real AR, you know, the M17 CQC is a great marker to get going with. The only thing, like I said, you have to be kind of worried about is, you know, the M17 doesn't come with a tank, and the T15 does, which, let's face it, most people don't really care, but it could be a make or break. The T15 is leaving out some, you know, Allen keys, O-rings, a manual, you know, that can kind of make a new player kind of uneasy or upset. So overall, it's up to the player style. I'm not going to tell you which one's the best, which one's the worst, which one you should buy. Personally, my preference after playing the two is the T15 is my go-to right now. I just really like everything about it. It fits my needs as a player just fine. You know, I like being able to save some space in the mags. I like a little more compact size of it. I like the actual AR, the way it is. You know, it's a 1:1 scale of AR. You know, that's my preference. Some guys want full auto. They don't care that it looks like an AR. Some people hate that, you know, all these things look like ARs. You know, the M17 might be a better pick for you. Alright guys. So like I said, any questions, feel free to let me know. Thank you.